In March of 1780, the Spanish escalated their conflict against the British to a shooting war. They swiftly attacked and captured the town of Mobile, West Florida. The British have organised a counterattack and burned the nearby town of Pensacola on their march to Mobile. Fearing a repeat of Santa Cruz debacle, the local Spanish commander has sent out an urgent call for help. The Continental Congress, mindful of the support received from the Spanish, have ordered you to immediately sail and reinforce the garrison at Mobile. We have a river landing, and this time we are the assailant. We're going to bring a full force of infantry plus the flagship for fire support. Captain, I'm afraid we've arrived too late. The Spanish have been scattered by a British force that has wrought a path of death and destruction. The remaining Spanish force have taken up a position at the local graveyard, and the British have surrounded them and are beginning to close the noose. Spanish will soon be perished. We must land, take command, attack the British, and achieve victory. And if we can, take the town. The officer cadets, Spanish, are being overrun. And no doubt the British will probably take up positions in the town. So we are not going to drop the sailors on the Savage. We're going to keep her at full sail. We don't have control of her yet. She's not quite on the map. I guess we have to wait for the Spanish to perish in the graveyard. That is poetic. They're running from the graveyard at least. Some of them are refusing to die in the graveyard. But the rest will be put there later on. Finally have control of Savage. And we'll keep her going in down the river. I think the town will block our ability to fire on the British. Let's try and hit the artillery and the mortars, especially in the background. Keep that in mind. They have mortars and artillery guns. Yeah, we just brutalized the town for no effect. We'll keep trying to sneak shots through. There isn't any penalty for blasting the town to pieces. Old Tina. Transport is coming up next. Still not able to control her. Now that the Spanish are dead or captured, we've lost sight of the British. I am really concerned that they will make a beeline for that hill fort. And if it has cannons, that might be dangerous for us. Let's... Alright, old Tina, we'll get her to drop her troops. We put her at the front because she has our skirmishers. We've got 2 units now, the 2 units of rangers, as well as a unit of fusiliers with the US 74 with sword bayonets. And I'll explain a little bit later why we've got a different armament. And then old Tina, let's get her out of danger, away from the British guns. Let's pull up position here with the Savage. Making sure we don't block our own shots or the retreat of our ships. Because the rest of them are all transports, and despite having Indiamen, I have stripped them of guns and they're no good for fire support anymore. Each of the Indiamen carry, I guess I call them the landing assistance party. Each of the Indiamen carry artillery units, a rear guard, supplies, and a unit of infantry. Fully contained unit. These guys have 2 cannon on board, supplies, and infantry. Old Trevor is coming up next. First Vanguard is ready for action. Second Vanguard will come up and pull up alongside them. We have lots of forest to work with, so we have to keep an eye out for skirmishers that will be trying to screen us and get vision. Speak of the devil, here's the skirmishers, and now they have vision on us. First Vanguard instantly routed because they got spotted by the cannon position. We need to try and get out of range and also stay away from the map edge so you don't... No! Oh, I thought we might lose the unit then as they route off the map. That was very close. The next team have arrived. The cannon, mortar, the 8-pounders, their supply wagon. Got 2 units of fusiliers on board there. I had a good look at the mission briefing and I've brought a tailored loadout. Dropping off the rear guards. The 12-pound cannon. Got an 8-pound cannon. No supplies with these guys. I didn't see the need to have so many supplies. You tend to find some, or the missions are fairly short and you don't need them. One is usually enough per unit. In this campaign anyway. Alright, our Vanguard units are just fitted with pure rifles this time, no bayonets. Baker rifles. Got the Land Pattern 78 with sword units coming up. US 74 with swords. So there was a shortage of a particular type of weapon, and I had to start buying some of the US weapons that were available. And I discovered, after re-watching one of my videos and thinking about it, the crew of the Redeemer that went in for that large boarding action that they lost despite having a huge amount of crew and reinforcements in the form of the French. Well, I accidentally, or I did it on purpose, but I gave them the worst muskets with no bayonets for the land mission previously, because I was juggling around weapons, and I forgot to give them good boarding weapons again. So they were fighting with, I think it was trade muskets or the French, the Charleville rifle, this the old crappy Charlevilles. And I think that is a good reason why we lost. I sent a poorly armed ship into a boarding action. That's the only explanation I have for that. As well as the British being very well. They had a lot of experience. And they also had decent weapons with bayonet swords. So that's that mystery solved. A few episodes later. We've got quite a contingent of cannon. 3 units of 8-pounders. We did away with the 6-pounder unit, and I replaced them with an 8-pounder unit. There was a lot available. So we've got 3 units of 8-pounders and 2 of 12-pounders. Basically a whole ship's worth. Old Terror couldn't fit down that narrow causeway. Old Tina needs more direct instructions to get out of the river. Trying to wiggle her through. It looks like there's enough space. I should have checked the depth first. We've pushed the skirmishers right away from our main force. We still have a few troops landing. Marshalling up for their advance. Oh no, the Vanguard are taking fire. We need to silence these skirmishers straight away. They're too close to the map edge to take that kind of risk to their morale. And they're also burning through supplies very quickly. So let's go back and top them up. Try and intercept that skirmisher unit on the way back if we can. Now the plan with the 2 Vanguard units is to try and wiggle them around the map to come at the rear of the back British line. Making due care not to get pinned between any reinforcements that might come. We're trying to take lessons from the severe losses we've taken. So we've got 2 units of Vanguard so they can back each other up. And they'll always outnumber the enemy skirmishers that way. And that way we can also get try and get some crossfires in to compound the morale damage. Done a pretty good job of fighting off the skirmishers, and they've shattered now. Old Trevor's made its way through. Old Timmy's taking the scenic route close to the shore. Old Terror just can't get through. That's the form of Minerva. She's been very helpful unit. Oh, we have Dragoons. That's very bad for us. My Vanguards don't have the bayonets this time because guns without bayonets reload faster. I thought that would be useful on a skirmisher unit. We need to pin those Dragoons down before they charge. Risky shots here with the 8-pounders. But if we can break their morale before they charge, we'll come out better. Like round shot obliterating a horse and the rider. They don't seem to want to charge. Just keep an eye on them though. Their AI is waiting for me to look away. We have skirmishers around the back line. Trying to attack our landing boats. We have a full unit of fusiliers with Ferguson rifles and bayonets. We have a full unit of Marine rearguard, 320 men. Five kills with that volley. Good work. Yeah, so they were waiting to try and get behind us, you buggers. And now we need to stop firing, or we're going to get casualties. Come on! We know dragoons are useless in melee. I guess because they're on horses, they're easier to shoot without friendly fire. Let's charge them in to help. Charge, you buggers! There we go. We're getting friendly fire now. Oh. It's alright. We pushed them away. That's a good thing. The artillery stopped firing, so we didn't get any bad casualties to our vanguard. Hopefully the dragoons get pushed off the map. No, they've rallied up just at the last moment. We do need supplies for our vanguard before they do anything else. And because the Savage can't see anything, their guns lie dormant. British dragoons have surrendered and shattered, dispersed to the wind. Hold fire on the cannon until we get into position. Keep the mortars up because anything that gets close needs to be shot. But for now, let's just organize our troops, get them stocked up. Vanguard taking some much needed supplies. They've used a lot. 57 kills, 2-to-1 death ratio. Almost fully stocked. Now let's do it. There's a lull in the battle as the British skirmishers have been fought off and now they can't see us. Old Trevor has finally made it off the battlefield. Old Terror's almost squeezed through this point here. Keep wiggling the rudder, it'll get you through. Now we can hear the British troops advancing. Let's go really far back so we don't get surprised. And we'll work our way forward. Try and isolate any artillery units. Anything that sees us will probably shoot at us straight away, so we need to run. Maybe split them up. We've got units in the forest here. We can hear them. Sounds like a lot. We know it was a lot that attacked the Spanish, but did they get reinforcements? That's the question. We have contact on our front line, but we're going to keep the micro up on our skirmishers until we find their gun line. We've got 2 units of fusiliers. One is broken already. Being pinned down by fire from, what is it, 900 men? Alright, our skirmishers have been spotted by the mortar. Got generous line of sight. But now that we can see them, Savage will open fire too. So we need to capitalize on that. Shoot them quick. Shoot the Marines. Just, oh, I'm holding fire. Stop. Fire. Yes. They went for the mortars too. That's great. Nearly 20% casualties on the mortar unit. That's good. As long as we keep them spotted, we can take them out of the fight, and then we will absolutely minimize our casualties if we can take out the enemy mortar. We have superior weapons. The US-74 seems to have pretty good stats. The only reason I went the way I did is because of I was fighting the British and we were recycling their weapons in the early campaign. But the Land Pattern 78 has excellent melee stats too, so they're great for the front line. And then we have the Baker rifles there on the wing. Still got line of sight on artillery. Let's press our advantage. Let's not. They were turning those cannon around to face us. Let's charge in with the other unit. Keep them tied up. We're fighting them on our terms. And our gun line is now firing on the enemy. We're just going to do this systematically. Keep harassing them with our skirmishers. They've given us the perfect terrain to ambush from the rear. Fusiliers being smashed by artillery and highly advanced weapons for the time. Alright, we've encountered Fusiliers. We do not want to fight them in a direct engagement. Get away. But now we can see more of the enemy. For a brief moment anyway. The Fusiliers are taking damage from the Savage. We just need to find the artillery. Strike them when they're not looking at us. I don't like how damaged or how nerfed our vision is when we're in cover. But, you know, that's the game we're playing. I haven't been able to get my skirmishers to a point where we can see the enemy and they can't see us. Which I thought would be a thing. Let's move up the line. Take some ground. We're just going to continue to harass their back line. Force them to act. Here we go. We've got good sights on this artillery unit. Alright, run away and reload. Savage giving them what for from the other side. The mortar is the high value target. That's the most danger to our lines. Highly accurate. They do lots of damage to infantry. And we just need to keep feeding targets to the Savage. Here we go, taking the ground as they retreat. We're on a limited timeline here. The closer our line gets, the more danger they're in. So we need to keep putting pressure on this artillery unit. As long as they're shooting the Valiant Rangers, they're not shooting our front lines. So yeah, I would highly rate the skirmishers for this type of play. I had seen some discussion on Reddit about they being worthless, but I'm putting them to good use. Okay, they're retreating the Fusiliers. We've got supply wagon in sight. Enemy supply wagon would be good to add. If only for the coins. Oh, we have Fusiliers cutting off our vanguard's retreat. We need to pull back into the forest. They had spotted us, but we've now gone silent. I think our frontline troops can now see this artillery. We just need to keep the pressure on it. British Fusiliers, their morale is in chaos. Alright, our front line's taking fire now. We do have the benefit of numbers here. So let's just keep it systematic. That way we can minimize our troop losses. And I wonder if there will be a large land battle for the end of the campaign too. There's no way of knowing how many more, so I will have to keep infantry in reserve in case we get another land battle thrown at us. But we're pretty close to the end of the campaign. 1781. 3rd of January. Alright, let's just push up. We're going to target the artillery. We have them in our sights. Opening up with the 8-pounders and the 12-pounders, but choosing different targets. The mortar is not anywhere near in range, but we'll move the mortar up in the tree line. Savage continues her bombardment of the British lines. We have dragoons in the back line heading towards the vanguard. Oh no! What shall we do about that? Run! We'll shoot them first, then run. We'll get the other guys over there to help. Oh, they're... Well, they didn't like that. They're running away. They weren't expecting us to be there. That's very fortunate. Very fortunate. I feel like they would have had the benefit in that fight. Supply wagons taking fire from our cannon. Let's choose better targets for them. The mortar, a priority target. All cannon. Creeping up. Fusiliers keep trying to push back. Those dragoons are making another move in the back line. We're going to encircle these guys and try and get them to surrender. The rear guard are going to come up and probably assist the vanguard. A little bit outside their roles. But we have pretty strong front line. Let's keep them flexible. Alright, let's get these mortars. We are almost in their range. We don't need to take losses that we can prevent. Fighting the dragoons offhandedly. Fusiliers being shattered by our artillery that keep firing at the close units. Because the mortar isn't in line of sight all the time. Oh, we got the whole unit to surrender. Pull them back through the lines. Take their guns. Put them on a boat. They can go to the Savage. Vanguard's done a great job of tying up these defenders, keeping pressure on them. The guns don't know where to face. Let's make a charge for the mortars. Rangers lead the way. We've got the Marines on the extreme flank. They're going to push that artillery piece for us. Actually, no, they're going to counter the Fusiliers that have been discovered in the forest. Vanguard are in sight of the mortars. They're taking fire from all sides of the British lines. We just need to keep the mortars busy. The artillery unit has shattered. It's one less. Fusiliers are heading to the prisoner boat. Moving up the cannon line, so they'll be silent for a moment or two. Let's keep pushing this mortar. As long as it's shooting the skirmishers, they are in a scattered formation. And in cover. Rearguard Marines and our troops are trading extremely well. Ooh, that was a close shot from the mortar. We've captured the supply wagon. Let's pull it back. We have supply wagons everywhere. That's going to be worth some coins. And it also takes away the ammunition from the British. The Marines are doing really good. Doing real good. The British screamed real good before they died. Bit of Star Fox. Oh, look at them. They're all pinned in the center. They're being hit by crossfire. Oh, no. What? They're completely enveloped. The mission was talking about a noose. It seems like the noose has slipped. Fallen around the neck of the British. And we've helped our Spanish friends. Now, the Spanish were my absolute nemesis in the British campaign. It was quite fun fighting the Spaniards. Cannon lines ready for fire missions. The Marines of the rear guard have clashed with that Fusilier unit. Vanguard are giving great account of themselves. They are trading, you know, 1-to-1, but in a tactical sense, they've done a great job. They've pulled away the aggro from our main force. Savage brutalizing the front line of the British. They've gone into a box formation. That's only going to hasten their demise. Got another artillery unit on the flanks. We have some Fusiliers rallying up. Let's push them away with the Vanguard. They've done a great job. The front line are engaged now. Vanguard could just move to cleaning up stragglers and routing units. Rearguard holding that flank well. We'll make use of the British supplies because they're faster on the wagon. Let's run these guys off the map. We just have to move a little bit closer and we will capture the objective. On the outskirts of the graveyard, the Spanish bodies lining the outskirts. Their flags covered in mud, blood and tears. But we have avenged our Spanish friends. That's little consolation for the men lying in the graveyard. But there will be a few more to join them. And any that don't will be sent to work in America. I'm not really sure what happened to prisoners of war back then. I know there were ransoms and parole and all that sort of stuff for high-ranking officials. But what happened to the prisoners of war at this level? Especially in the War of Revolution. You know the British like to put muskets into the rebels. But was there any mercy shown to the average man if he was managed to be captured? Or was it just easier to bayonet him? Right, the Vanguard... Oh, the mortar actually at risk here. Let's get the rearguard back, do their job. Mortar can open up on these fleeing units. We have pushed the British out of the town. We now have the contested zone. We just need to wait a few minutes and then the game is ours. And that blob of British men trying to flee. Well, they just continue to fall as we chase them out of the town. Angry patriots on their heels. And the Spanish will be so grateful that they'll just give Florida to us. Uncontested. And then they'll completely pull out of this area and never be a thing ever again. Except an excellent holiday destination for the British. The day is ours. The day is ours. We lost 300 sailors and 279 men of the army. That's excellent. The British lost much more. And there are the stats for those that are interested. Back we come. Let's have a look at the progress of our career. It seems we only need one more medal for our medal chest. The accolades abound. Well, let's have a look at the new medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Star, awarded to sea service members who exhibited outstanding gallantry while engaged with hostile forces to the colonies at great personal risk to their own safety in the performance of their mission. Remember to comment, like and subscribe if you want to see more epic tales of heroism and valor in the face of adversity. Commander Tyrael out.